happy fall, happy full moon. It is September 20th, 2021, and it is full moon in Pisces, otherwise known as the harvest moon. The first official day of fall, I believe, is Wednesday, the 22nd. So we're right there. It's a big, beautiful full moon if you can check it out. And full moons in general with our yoga practice is a really good time to try to let go of some things. Practice what we call full moon forgiveness. So, forgiveness to yourself, forgiveness to others, and really try to release whatever it is that you're holding on to that isn't serving you anymore. Sometimes it can feel just more powerful in your practice when you're working with that energy of the full moon. So that's the idea for our practice today, and I don't want to do anything crazy. I don't want to I don't want to make anyone feel discouraged. What I want is to help you find a place where you can get a little bit of a release and a little bit of a stretch. It's important to remember to meet yourself where you're at. So don't push yourself if you're going into a pose. We're going to do pigeon tonight. So if you're trying to get into it and it's not happening for you, don't overdo it. Or you can even just take a child's pose for the entire practice and just use this time for yourself. So whatever it is that you need, take that and yourself wherever you're at tonight. I'll also share a playlist for this as well, so you can follow along or just play some relaxing music for yourself in the background. But we'll start just in an easy seat, and if you're not familiar with what that means, we're just sitting really comfortably on the yoga mat, and you're letting the knees sort of gravitate down toward the floor, and then do a little check-in with your spine. So roll the shoulders down and back, neck is long. So you should imagine that you have a string pulling your head up toward the ceiling. So it's as if there's one long straight line from the top of your head all the way to the floor. And at the same time, you're letting everything here down below get heavy. The knees are heavy. The legs, the thighs are heavy. And then do a little check-in to see maybe where you're holding on to tension. We all tend to hold on to tension in different places. So where is it for you right now today in this moment? And maybe you're clenching your jaw, or maybe you're trying to bring the shoulders down and back, but they're creeping back up. So see if you can just start to tune into some of those places where you feel like you need to give yourself a little extra attention and really relax the jaw. Try not to grip or hold anything. Just try to see if you can get really calm and relaxed, but still maintain that posture, that alignment in your spine. And then tune into the breath. So we show up and we're breathing in and we're breathing out, and it's pretty shallow, and that's kind of how we breathe all day. So I invite you now to close your eyes and tune into your breath. So as you breathe in, maybe count to 6 or 8. And then hold it there at the top. And then let it go again to a count of 6 or 8. And here we're just really actively calming the nervous system, calming the heart rate by focusing on the breath and controlling that in and out cycle and really slowing it down. And I think that's a big part of the yoga practice is when you come to your mat, it sort of forces you to take that time to go inward and to slow down. And we'll do a lot of that tonight. We'll really go inward and try to see what's there that you can let go of moving into this fall season. So we'll start to invite some movement into the neck. So again, keeping with that alignment, shoulders are down and back, and you're just going to let that right ear fall toward your right shoulder, keeping hands and everything where they are. Everything else is relaxed. So you should feel a nice stretch in the left side of your neck here. And it's important to maintain the posture and alignment, because if you're rolling forward, you're not going to feel that stretch there. So you really got to keep the shoulders down and back, keep the spine nice and long, and let that ear get heavy toward your shoulder. And as you exhale, can you let it get even heavier? So we're starting real slow. I'm going to ease into it. And on your next exhale, roll the chin to the chest. So that should feel really nice for the back of your neck. And we'll take a couple breaths here. And as you're breathing in, where is your breath going? Can you follow it down all the way into your diaphragm and feel as you inhale the chest expand, and then as you exhale, let it all go. And then on your next inhale, we'll roll the left ear to the left shoulder. And again, do a little check-in here with your alignment, bringing the shoulders down and back. And that way you're getting the most out of that stretch. It should be a nice deep stretch on your right side now of your neck. And then on your next exhale, we're going to roll the chin back to center. And this time you'll take your hands, interlace your hands behind the back of the head, the neck, and just use that to help gently guide the chin to the chest, keeping the elbows going out toward the sides. So you get a little bit of a deeper stretch there in the back of your neck. And again, you're not pushing, but just sort of guiding. One more big breath here. And then let the hands come all the way back down. And we're going to extend the right leg. So you're keeping that left leg where it is. You can actually put that left foot against your right thigh. And then do a little check-in here. Make a little adjustment if you need to just make sure that you feel like you're nice and flat on the yoga mat, that you're not tilted more towards one side or the other. So right leg is extended, right foot is flexed, and then your left foot is pressed up into your right inner thigh. We're going to reach the arms all the way up overhead, and we're going to start with just a gentle forward fold over that right leg, but go where you feel you're going to get the best stretch. So don't overstretch, don't try to grab the bottom of your foot if you're not there. You're just going to reach up, look up, and then exhale. Come all the way forward toward that leg, and then just let the hands come down where it feels comfortable for you, where you can take that forward fold and get a nice stretch without overdoing it. And you'll know when you get there. And just be mindful of keeping that that left hip down, that left knee down toward the mat. It wants to kind of creep up as you head over here. And you can take it a little deeper. So if you feel like it's in your practice, if you have the flexibility to, you can try to come down a little more, maybe reach for the foot if that's there for you. If not, don't push yourself. The idea is not to make yourself sore, but to feel better. And as you're exhaling here, You can let yourself come down just a little bit further with each exhale. So really use the breath as a tool here. So inhale, nice and deep, long inhale. And as you exhale, can you come down a little further? We're going to take 2 more really big deep inhales and exhales here. So use them to your advantage. As you're exhaling, can you come down a little further? And then we'll come up slow, kind of drag the fingertips as you come up so you feel all of that. And then we're going to switch sides. So you're going to extend the left leg. Right foot is coming into the left inner thigh. So left leg is extended, left foot is flexed. And same thing, make all your little adjustments. So make sure you feel like you're nice and flat on the yoga mat and your shoulders are down and back. Everything is where it needs to be, and then reach all the way up. You can even imagine that you're reaching up toward that big full moon, and then exhale. Bring it forward wherever your body takes you today, and one side may be drastically different than the other. That's okay. That's we tend to hold tension on one side or the other. And again, using your breath as a tool, maybe as you exhale here, you take it a little bit deeper. Maybe reach for the foot if that's available to you. One more big inhale and one more big exhale. And as you're here, is there anything that you can let go of? And then again, we'll drag the fingertips back up. And you're going to keep this leg where it is. We're just going to take some side body stretches. So you'll drop this left arm parallel with the left inner thigh as best you can. And then the right arm is going to reach all the way up. So you should feel a nice deep stretch on the right side here, all the way down into that right hip. And what happens sometimes here on the right side is that right knee is going to want to creep up. So keep it down. And maybe look up toward your hand. Just a little bit of an intense stretch there in the right hip. And one more breath. And then maybe rotate the wrists, scrunch the fingers and open them. Kind of work around those areas that we don't really think about. And then we'll come all the way back up, and we're going to switch sides again so that we can do that little side body stretch on the other side. And you probably notice a difference just from that one stretch. So lining yourself up, your right leg is extended again, right foot is flexed, left foot is pressing up into that right inner thigh. And then this time the right arm is going to drop down parallel with the right leg, and you're reaching that left arm all the way up toward the ceiling. And maybe turn the gaze and look up and breathe. Keep that left knee down. And focus on the inhale and the exhale. As you exhale, can you get a little deeper? One more really big inhale. really big exhale, and again, rotating the wrist. Scrunch your fist, open your fingers, and scrunch and open. Give a little attention to that hand, and then we're going to come all the way back up, and we're transitioning into tabletop. So hands and knees, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, and take the time to really find your alignment. So this is a nice sort of base and platform for a lot of the other postures that we go in and out of. And so really kind of getting good at setting yourself up here in tabletop will benefit you for a lot of other parts of your yoga practice. So keep the fingers spread apart so you have a nice base. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going into cat-cow. So right now you're imagining like a tabletop that your spine is one long straight line. So now as you inhale, drop the belly, chin comes up, tailbone comes up. This should feel really nice after scrunching over in our side body stretches. And then exhale, round it out. So like an angry cat. Excuse me. Arch your back, tuck your chin. And now make it your own. Maybe close your eyes and just feel it out. Inhale, drop the belly, chin comes up, tailbone comes up. Exhale, round it out. And again, dropping the belly. Exhale, round it out, tuck the chin. On this next one, we're going to take a little dip toward your right foot. So inhale, drop the belly and drop the hip all the way toward the right foot, and then bring it around. So you're making little circles with your hips. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, bring it forward. And then reverse, so go the opposite way. So inhaling forward, exhaling, you're going toward the left now. It's almost like just kind of greasing up your hips a little bit. That's how I like to think about it. And then we'll come back to center, to your tabletop position. Tuck the toes and bring it on up into your downward facing dog. And stretch it out here. So take the time, come up onto your toes, come back down, maybe pedal it out. So extend one leg while you bend the opposite knee. Maybe for you tonight, right now, you'd rather be still, and that's fine too. So just figure out here in your down dog what you need. We're going to take a few breaths just here. When you're ready, we're going to kick that right leg all the way up behind you. Maybe kick it toward the opposite wall, opening up that hip on the right side. So three-legged dog with a little bit of a hip opener here. Take a big exhale, another big inhale. Maybe take some circles with that foot. And then on your next exhale, we're going to bring that knee between the palms, coming into your version of pigeon. It's a really nice way to get into those hips in all those really tight areas. And I find, especially when you're doing a practice where you want to release, this is a really important posture to use. If you have a bolster or a blanket or props of any kind, you can put them in front of you if you want to have a little bit of a pillow or a little bit of height here. But otherwise, just have your right leg wherever it feels okay. So you don't have to have your foot up parallel with the mat. You can put it down a little further if that feels better for you. The idea is to just really get that deep stretch. And you're letting that left leg come all the way back down toward the back of the yoga mat. And then roll the shoulders back. Maybe lift the chin. Take a big breath here. Think about what you have that you can let go of. And then as you exhale, maybe bring it on down. And really just let yourself melt into the floor. Get really heavy and release whatever isn't serving you. So we're going to be here for another 3 breath cycles. Make them count. As you inhale, really fill up. Follow the breath all the way in. Feel everything expand. Feel a difference in the expansion when you're in this posture versus when we were focusing on it sitting. And then as you exhale, what can you let go of? And where are you gripping right now? Maybe you transferred that tension somewhere else and you're gripping in your fingers or your jaw. Can you just let everything get heavy? Really try to relax those places. Last breath. Big exhale. And then come all the way back up to transition out. We're going to tuck the toes on the left side, push down into the palms. Kick that right leg all the way back up and try opening up that hip again. See how that feels. And then bring it back down into your downward facing dog. And we're going to set ourselves up to do the same thing on the other side. So take a moment here to just breathe, stretch the backs of the legs. See if you notice a difference between your right and your left, just from that pigeon that we just did. When you're ready, left behind you, you're going to kick it toward the opposite wall. Breathe into that space, opening up the hip in your 3-legged dog. One big breath here. And then on your next exhale, bring that knee in between the palms and come all the way down. So again, bringing that right leg down as far as you can toward the end of the yoga mat. And it doesn't matter where your foot lands here, but find that place where you can settle in and feel the stretch. So set yourself up, find your alignment, bring the shoulders down and back, maybe lift the chin. Take a big breath in, and then exhale, you can bring it on down. And again, the idea behind this stretch is to really sort of allow yourself to get heavy and settle into it. So that's how it does its work. It's not one we can just move in and out of. You really got to sit in it. You got to sit with your stuff. So focus on the breath, really big inhales. All the way in so you feel everything expand. Hold it at the top, and then as you exhale, can you get a little deeper? Can you let go of a little more every time you breathe out? Really forgiving yourself for whatever whatever stuff you're stuck on, and forgive the people around you. That's how you can be more compassionate than any other way to yourself and to others. One more big breath in. Big breath out. Again, to transition out, you're going to push down into the palms, tuck the toes on the right side, kick that left leg all the way up, and can you open the hip again here? One more time. And then bring it back to your downward facing dog. Take another little stretch here. Maybe come up onto the tippy toes and then all the way back down, lowering the heels toward the mat so you get a nice stretch in the back of your feet. And then we're going to come from here right down into a child's pose. So you're bringing the heels sort of together, and then you're going to let the knees come out toward the edges of the yoga mat. And then sit all the way back. Let the tailbone get heavy toward your feet and reach your arms toward the front of your mat. Again, we're going to settle in here to kind of let this do its work. So just let everything get heavy here in your child's pose. It's a very grounding pose, having your head against the mat, the floor, the ground. Has a very calming effect on the body. And then on your next inhale, you're going to walk the hands toward the left side, just getting a little side body stretch here. Breathe into that. And then back to center. And then take it to the other side. So over toward the right, getting a little side body stretch on the right. And then bring the hands back to center again. We're going to take a little thread the needle from your child's pose. So you can kind of tent the fingertips. You're going to reach the right arm all the way up toward the ceiling and then thread it underneath that left. So coming down onto the right shoulder, and you can reach those left fingertips out toward the front of the mat. It should feel really good on your shoulder. And again, breathing into that tight area as you exhale. Can you get a little heavier? Coming back to your really deep inhales and exhales. We'll push down into the left palm, reach that right arm all the way back up again just to give it a little counter stretch, and we're going to switch to the other side. So we're reaching the left hand all the way up toward the ceiling, and then you're going to thread your needle, come all the way down. onto that left shoulder. And again, really reach those right fingertips toward the front of the mat so you get a nice deep stretch here. And get really heavy with your exhale. Two more big breaths. And again, we'll push into that right palm. Left arm reaches up toward the ceiling, so you get a little counter stretch there. And then we're going to come all the way up onto the knees. We're going to take a little camel variation here. And you're going to go with whatever feels good in your body. And it may be a little bit and it may be a lot. So take what you need. Again, meet yourself where you're at today. So first, come all the way up onto the knee so that you feel, again, like you've got your alignment. So your spine is one nice long straight line. Shoulders are down and back. Head extends up toward the ceiling. And you can start by just placing your hands on the small of your back. And start to roll the shoulders back, pushing the hips forward and leaning the head back. So you're getting a little bit of a mini back bend here, and even just this little bit can feel really intense. So see how you feel here and breathe into it. So big inhale, notice the difference that you feel as you inhale, and then exhale. Can you go a little deeper? Maybe you bring the left arm down. See how that feels. Maybe the right. And again, find what feels good for you. Wherever you are, one more big breath. And then to come out, you're going to bring one hand up at a time if you came down to your ankles, and then come all the way back down to a seat. We're going to actually come all the way back onto our backs, which will feel especially good now. So coming all the way down flat. Knees are still pointed toward the ceiling, actually. So feet are flat. Your back is nice and flat on the yoga mat. Knees extended toward the ceiling. And we're going to come into happy baby. So bring the knees in toward the shoulders. So maybe even grabbing the knees with your hands and kind of rotating toward the shoulders first as you come in. And then kick the heels up. And grabbing wherever it feels good. So behind the backs of the thighs, the shins, the ankles, the sides of the feet. Figure out what you need. This practice is all about releasing. So figure out where you can settle and use your breath to try to deepen as you exhale and see what you can let go of. And then we'll add on to this a little. If you're happy here and this is working for you, then stay here. Or if you want to add a little, you can extend that left leg out. So grabbing on again to wherever it feels good. So maybe the backs of your shins, your thighs, maybe you take a yoga toe lock and you grab your big toe with your peace fingers and just really extend that leg and stretch toward your left side as you hold on to your half happy baby on the right. Breathe here. And then we'll switch sides. So you're going to come back into your half happy baby on the left. And maybe you extend the right now this time. So again, reaching for back of the thigh, shin, or yoga toe lock, which is your peace fingers around your big toe. And you can let that right leg extend out to the side as you hold your half happy baby on the left. It's a super good stretch for that inner seam here that runs from your inner hip all the way down under your thigh and all the way down your leg. That's where you should feel that stretch the most. And then we'll bring both knees in. Give yourself a squeeze. Maybe rock back and forth. Massage your lower back with the floor. And we're going to end with a reclined butterfly, but I want it to be a supported reclined butterfly. So you can use blankets or props. Under your knees, just so that you feel that you have some support there. And then you're bringing the soles of the feet together, knees are coming out to the side, and you can just let yourself come all the way back down onto your mat. And maybe put one hand on your belly and one hand up by your heart. Really focus on those inhales and exhales now and really slowing it down. Tuning in. And maybe come back to that intention of forgiving and letting go of that which doesn't serve us. Really working with that powerful energy that we get from the full moon in Pisces today. And when you're ready, we'll bring the knees together and then roll on up. I will meet you again in an easy seat where we started. So every day is a good day to practice, but especially today with the energy around that full moon, I hope that this practice was helpful for you. And thank you for sharing your time with me. If you enjoyed this practice, then like and subscribe. And I'm hoping to bring more of these sort of practices along. So with that, the light in me honors the light in all of you. I hope you have a wonderful Monday full moon in Pisces. Namaste.